Found one. Oh, shit! Ow! I wiped him, I wiped him, I wiped him. Oh my gosh, I just wiped 3. This is crazy. Ow, ow, I can't move. No, no. Get off the ladder. Yep, get off me, kid. Oh my goodness, man. Boom. Come on. Oh. What's going on YouTube? And in the intro clips, I want to show you how I utilize some of the movement in this game, but I want to get a few things out of the way first. 1, I do not come from COD. 2, this is my second channel to prove that. If you go to my first channel, it's Mountain Skew. I play mostly Arc Raiders, some of the finals, some things here and there. I don't really play super movement stuff. Well, I do, but I play mostly Marvel Rivals, Arc Raiders, and so don't click a movement and controller settings guide thinking that I'm a COD guy. I am not a COD guy. I do not come from COD. I haven't really played Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 3, thank goodness. But I found myself in a bit of a predicament. I'm launching a second channel, which is this one, where I want to put some of my sweatier gameplay on some of the other sweatier games. So I'm just gonna casually put this out there, but I'm really enjoying RedSec, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it. But when I'm eating my dinner and my lunch and my breakfast, and I'm looking for other creators to watch, like people better than me, so that I can get excited to get on, I don't really see people utilizing movement to its fullest potential. I'm going to go over how some of the things to use. The most beautiful thing about RedSec, in my opinion, is that movement is not over the top. You can only use movement to get to point A to point B. What do I mean by that? I mean, like, if you are fighting someone and shooting someone, you're doing it like this. You're not moving. But in between the fight, you can do some other stuff, right? Like, there are some bunny hop mechanics that people don't use. There are some other things that you can use that people don't utilize. But when you are fighting someone, once you put yourself in that position, you're fighting them like this. At most, maybe a little crouch. And I don't even do that. I even felt some of the penalties. So that's what I love most about it. While you are in the gunfight, you're not really moving. But when you're putting yourself in the positioning, or you're like getting shot at, you can make yourself a harder target. It's a perfect balance, in my opinion. I can't really show you unless we're in game, because I have to pull my knife out. The knife is the biggest thing here. So what I want to go over is some key settings. I'm on controller, so as I'm getting over here, I'm going to show you which controller I am using here. I got the G7 Pro, GameSir G7 Pro. That's what I'm using right now. If you're on console, that's fantastic. If you're on Xbox, if you're on PC, I would use this or the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro. The biggest thing is these extra bumper buttons. I've got 2 bumper buttons up here and then 2 paddles back here. The Wolverine V3 Pro has the bumper buttons and 4 buttons on the bottom. It just, you got to get used to it feeling weird in your hands. It's a small controller. It's very awkwardly sized. But this has some of the most accurate TMR thumbsticks I could find. Almost immune to stick drift, except for my left stick. My movement stick has stick drift, but that's fine with me. But why did that turn on? Anyway, so what I want to go over is they just changed the controller settings in this season, and it made me come back to the game to try it to see if it felt better, because controller felt like garbaggio, right? And I jumped back in, played it, and it feels like Dami Mas Gasolina in the famous words of Pitbull, and it's fantastic. Now, but what I want to go over is some of my bindings, and what is most important is this new setting that they added, which is, where's it at? Where's she at? We'll go over all of these, but it is going to be cycle, switch to melee, right here. Let me get my stupid face that isn't important out of the way. Switch to melee. This was not here before. What you had to do is hold down the melee button to bring out your knife, and your movement speed is so much faster when you have your knife out. When you were on keyboard and mouse, you could tap it, and I mean it's huge. It feels like Apex. You bring out your what is it called over there, an heirloom, and your movement speed is infinitely buffed. So you go in and you set this to switch to melee instantly. I have it set to, so it says B, but I have it set to this extra bumper button. So I just go here and I just tap it. And I've got my knife out. And then what you want to do, I'll try and pull up some gameplay as I'm explaining this, right? So it's really hard to explain. And you know what I think I'm going to do? My poor teammates, I wish you could solo queue in this. Wish you could. You can't. So I wish you could without any teammates. But I'm going to go in solely for the fact to explain some of these mechanics. I'm going to deploy solo. These poor teammates, but whatever. I'm going to go into these houses. I'll be able to explain this better. Okay, looks like I'm good. All right, so you saw right as I landed, right? I bring out this. So you got your pistol. I see a lot of people just running around, and they'll slide or whatever with their weapon out. But you don't want to do anything while you're moving with your left stick without doing this. Look how fast it brings it out. So what I'll do is, instead of like challenging with my weapon out, what you want to do is you want to start, since you're much faster with your knife out, jump, swap weapons, and then hit a slide. Look at that. And then and if you time it perfectly, as soon as you hit the ground, you can hit a bunny hop. So you jump, slide with your weapon out, and then you can hit a bunny hop, and you already have your weapon out. And you're a moving target, and you're already set before they're set. So I'll go into it some more. Here's a plate. You can do it with plates too. So watch this. Equip armor plate. I will start it, jump, and slide, and hit a little bunny hop, and look at that. Like, and I'm able to move with this knife out while I'm plating. You keep the... I do it all the time, constantly. I'm running. If I want to peek this corner, jump, bring out my gun, and then I can chow with the little bunny hop around the corner. And you keep it. You keep that momentum no matter what. So you run, and then while you're in the air, you jump, and then start... Here, let me explain, because I've got it in muscle memory. Jump, tap the slide button, and the weapon equip button, which is Y for me, which is my back paddle. So... jump, slide, bring out my weapon, and then I hit the bunny hop at the perfect spot. The bunny hop is not that important. It'll actually, if you don't have good hip fire attachments, it'll actually screw you. But what you want to do is you never want to keep this out the whole time, because look how much slower this is. But if you bring out the knife, you go way farther and way faster, but you still get the benefits of bringing your weapon out. So, and you can do the same thing with your plating. You start your plating and your equipment too. So I'm recon. I can use my little beacon. I jump, start the animation, put it down, and then I put it down and bring out my weapon, and I'm ready to chow this corner or whatever. So, I just don't see enough people utilizing that, and I do it, look at constantly. Like, oh, I want to come in here, I'll start it, and then I bring my weapon out, even with that slide. Bring my weapon out after I start the jump. And you'll see it in some of my clips, but man, does it work. Like, being a moving target like that. Oh, here we go. We got someone on me. How many people? So I'll down him. And I'm going to try... Oh, he gave up right away. Well, I wanted to get rid of his teammates, but I'll take height. Let's see if I can take a whole team fight. Look, as I'm crossing open space right now, you could just run with your knife out. That would be enough. Like, you're getting to point A to point B faster. But if I'm in someone's sniper sights right now, I just keep doing this bunny hop, and if I'm doing it and someone gets the jump on me while I'm doing this as I'm crossing open space, then all of a sudden, oh, I'm getting shot. I've got my weapon out while I'm moving super fast. So I'm constantly hitting this bunny hop. Off a ledge is even better. And then I put it back away. And then I'll climb. And then when you come off these zip lines, you can hit a slide right away and do that same thing. It's perfect for these situations. Out. See how that saved me right there? And then I start my plate animation, and then I can bunny hop around while I'm plating up. Look at that. And then I can wait to chow. And I've got an SMG. He's broken. Now, this is probably... Yeah, he knows I'm going to the zip. This is a terrible idea. But I want to hit this, and then jump back down. Now I can chow from up there. Oh, there's another person over here. Oh, and he's gonna chase. But I already started my plate up. No idea where these guys are coming from. So we downed him, and then I can start my reload with that bunny hop, and it'll get me out of there. See? And you start that jump animation while you're plating up. It's huge, and I do it literally all the time. So there's some of the practical application. You want to always be bringing out your knife before you start anything, and then while you're in the jump, while you're in the air, start the animation. Start the reload, start the plate up, start the whatever, and then when it's finished, even if you're not doing any of those animations, jump and then bring out your weapon and hit the slide button, and then you'll have your weapon with the full momentum of having your knife out, which is faster than having your weapon out, obviously, and then you can slide around those corners, hit that bunny hop at the perfect time, and chow that corner. Only hip fire. Do never ADS while you're hitting that bunny hop or you're jump chow in a corner. Only hip fire, even if you're sliding. And then that's great. But it's the main focus of all of this is to if you're getting shot in the back, use this to be a moving target while you're reloading, while you're plating up, which is why I think the movement is so great in this game, is you can only use it as a defensive thing. It's not offensive movement. It's great defensive movement, which I haven't seen a game do well yet. So I'm going to go over my controller settings. I know that'll be a natural question afterwards, but here we go. This is what I am running. Let me get my stupid face game out of the way. I got 100 now. 100 seems like a lot. I am used to playing high sensitivity, but I've got some foam around my thumbstick. I highly recommend that you get foam on your thumbstick. No, that's another thing I don't see any content creators doing. You get the extenders usually, which I just got off of. I've been using the thumbstick extender thing. I feel like it makes a pseudo dead zone. I feel like it's a myth that it helps you with your aiming. I completely unsubscribe. If it's too high up, I think it actually hurts your aiming. So if you have TMR sticks that are actually really, really responsive, I think you need to get rid of that higher right stick subscription of thought, and I lower it. I've got a little bit of a grip here, a little bit of a razor, but that's it. And then it's foam, so it's actual squishy foam, like packing peanuts, but it's made around. There's different companies that make them. Just look up foam rings controller, get the thickest, most resistance ones you can get, and put them around your right stick, never your left. That's stupid to put anything or a riser around your left. This has air in it. It's squishy on my left, which means it forms to the way my thumb is pushing. I want to give you all the stuff I'm using because people are usually curious. But I've got foam around my right stick. That makes it so I can play max sensitivity in almost any game and still have accurate aim. So if you see 100 and it feels crazy, try like 65. And if you don't have anything around your right stick, it'll probably feel better. But if you get that foam ring, I'm telling you, you can go max sense, and it'll feel weird at first. Once you get used to it, it'll be amazing. Trust me, dude. On my main channel, I'm a bit of a controller settings guru. This is what is working perfectly for me. I have tried everything in this game. Everything. I love the fact that it is so in-depth and confusing, but this is what I've got. My baseline settings were heavily influenced by Bear Pig, if you want to look his up. But this is what I'm running. 100 off, field of view 120. In a battle royale, it is really important to be able to see everything around you. If you are unable to see people in front of you, which kind of happens to me sometimes, honestly, drop this down to 110. You're still at a full advantage. So anywhere between 110 and 120, I think, is fantastic. Again, this isn't COD. We don't have to go min-maxing aggressive, sweaty gameplay. 56. Make sure this is off. I don't want to get into exactly what it does. It could help some people, but for us, most people, trust me, I put it through the ringer. Just keep it off. 100. Obviously, they fixed aim assist. It feels normal now. Unfortunately, us controller players have to crutch it to compete. And then standard, man. They added a dynamic option here. Right here, they added this. This is what I would normally recommend, but it is so bugged. And no one's talking about it. Like, no content creator that plays on controller, that plays this game, is talking about it. They added this, and it just doesn't work. because I don't think people understand like what like controller settings actually do. So this curve is, to explain it shortly, this doesn't show my mouse cursor in game. Battlefield 6 is a buggy mess. I will tell you what. So the graph here is, look, you can kind of see, and then it goes away. There's my mouse, finally. So this is me not touching my stick. Where's my mouse cursor, Battlefield? Where's it at? Here. Let me just unplug my controller so I can do this. All right, so here's me not touching my stick at all, right? I push it. I'm pushing it this way a little bit, so it goes like this. Boom. Right? The farther you go to one side, the closer you're going to get to here. Now, not only that, what this represents is max sensitivity. In our case, up here, 100, right? That's why we want to keep it 100. Now, the thing about this standard slope is you kind of have to pick between good aim and good movement, which you can work around. But the great thing about dynamic S-curve sense here is, right, is you can reserve the beginning stick. This looks insane. What you want is more of a boom, boom, boom. That's what you want the S to look like. Theirs looks like they have no idea what they're doing. Ideally, in an S-curve sense, is when I'm pushing the stick, when I make little movements like this, not like this, little movements like this, I can keep the, if it was just going like this, like when I'm doing little movements, it'll go like here, here, here. I can keep the slow sensitivity. So this is 0 sensitivity at the bottom. This is 100 sensitivity at the top. If I go a little bit and I make little micro adjustments, I can do it with low sensitivity, so you feel like you actually have control over like fine-tuning aim, adjusting. Like when you're in sights or you're hip firing someone and they're moving all around, you can use that slow sensitivity to stay on target. But if you max out your input and you push it all the way to the right or the left, that's when all of a sudden you're pushing past this point and it shoots up to that S part. And, oh, I'm pushing all the way to the other 50% of my stick. All of a sudden, I shoot up to closer to 100. So the only time you're pushing your stick all the way out to that is probably when you're getting shot in the back and you need to flip around and shoot someone behind you. So to give you a visual representation of that is, I've got a bit of a feel for it in game here. I can give you an example. It's not perfect, obviously, because their dynamic curve is just insanely ignorant. Like they don't know what they're doing with it. But these settings are good enough. They work. But if I go into the range here to give you an example of what if they ever do fix it, what it should do is you want to keep these, like I'm moving my controller a little bit. Also, I got stick drift on my left stick. It's okay. Like, that's why I'm walking backwards. These are supposed to be stick drift proof, so keep that in mind if you're buying this controller. But I'm making little movements like this. See that? Tiny little ones to make little adjustments to be, like, tracking people while I move like this. Like, little, like, oh, this guy's about to chow around this corner. Boom. Little, like, accurate. Or if I'm here, I'm like, little movements. And then, oh, I got shot in the back. I want to flip around like that. Like, oh. 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 Accurate, boom. Accurate, boom. The problem here is I'm on standard curve, so that spin that I have does not look like this. That's what I'm using my mouse now. That's what keyboard and mouse can do. They can literally, my DPI on my mouse is not bad. They can just flick around. On controller, we see how much slower that is on controller, even if I'm maxed out. That is because of that slow build in that setting. So if we go back now, I'll explain. Now that I've explained what those curves do, sorry if I'm confusing you. I'm really trying to get you guys to understand what these are, instead of just saying, hey, copy these, use my settings, I'm so good, use my settings. I want you to understand what the settings do. That is what an aim sense curve does. And the problem with standard, it's a slow build. So you have to go all the way out to the edge of your controller input to get that fast ramp up time. Ideally here, you would only have to, you could reserve this for slow and then reserve the outside for super fast. So you get the best of both worlds. Basically, to sum it all up, dynamic S-curve gets you half of your stick is slow sensitivity, half of your stick is fast. So instead of having to pick between good aim and movement, you can have the best of both worlds, with the outside of your stick looking like a keyboard and mouse, and the inside of your stick looking like the fine adjustments of a controller. But their dynamic sense is ass. So down the line, when they fix it, eventually, I'm hoping they do, and they get some, and they make this whatever, that is definitely going to be the response curve that you want to do, and I'll make an updated sense for now. But for now, this is what I'm running. We've got 15 here. Let me just keep my face cam off. Who cares about my face? 15 here. This is really important for snappy. A lot of people have this at 35 or like 65. This will make it floaty. Really, it's how fast you turn when you max out your stick is what this is. So what I just explained, I have it on 15. If it's too choppy at like 0, not unplayable, pretty good. But I like a little bit of like flow to it, is how I'll explain it. But I would recommend 15, 0 to 15. If it feels too robotic, if that feels like the adjective that would explain how your aim feels if it's this low, move it up. And if it feels more organic when you move it up, you're probably going to be more comfortable at 35 to 65. If it doesn't feel responsive enough, you want to be between 0 and 15. That's how I'm going to explain it. But for now, do all these standard. Feels the best to me. And dude, I've done all of them. I've done the Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 2042. That sense, like, trust me, like every single one of these little ticks, I've tried them all, and I know what they do. So even the acceleration, I had this on here for the longest time because they say it's the best. It's not, man. It is standard, and you put it on 15. That is what you want to do. That's the best possible for someone who plays like me to be here. So trust me, I'm not just saying like, oh, this is the best. I tried it all. This is what I landed on. So if you want to play like me, do that, you know? And I think I'm a little bit above average. This is everything else here. Another thing that they added is this stick forward sprint, which is awesome. That means they're listening to the community. Turn this on, okay? Turn this on. Stick forward sprint. That means that as soon as your stick goes forward, you're going to sprint. This is how you start this running animation and start the plating up. As soon as you press forward, you jump, you get that full momentum, then you swapped your weapon or you do your plating. This is what makes that possible. I also have sprint set to left stick click. So if I'm prone or I want to sprint to the left, back, or right, then I can click this in instead of just pressing forward. But I don't use that often, but it's there as a second option if my subconscious feels like I'm not starting a sprint fast enough. Stick forward sprint time, make sure this is on 0. You will get no disadvantage from this. It just immediately into a sprint. It's going to give you your ability to move around like I do. Vault over sprint. I have that on. Slide. This is really, really important. Set this to... I have it on right stick click. Whatever you do, you pleb. Okay? I'm not just giving you recommendations. I know what I'm talking about. Trust me. I don't care what bind you use. I don't care. When you're jumping, whatever button you're jumping with, do not lift your thumb off of your thumbstick to hit a button to jump. I don't care if it's one of these. I don't care if it's a D-pad. I don't care. I don't want your thumbs to ever leave your thumbsticks. Either one of them. Never. Ever, ever, ever. No excuses. I know you're sitting there right now and you're going, whatever. I do all this fine. I'm just going to skip this part. I like his settings, his sense, what he talked about, but I'm still going to jump with A or X. Stop. Okay? This is the only... People clickbait all the time. Use these settings and you'll be instantly better. I mean, yeah, you'll get better over time. The only thing that is not clickbait about use these settings and you will instantly be better is changing your bindings. Like, this is a cross-platform game. When you're playing people against keyboard and mouse on PC, you are at a disadvantage if you are lifting your thumb up to hit A or X on PlayStation to jump. My recommendation is I jump with this left bumper, get used to it. Dude, it felt crappy for me for like a day or two, maybe 2 weeks. It still felt a little weird. Jump with your bumper, one of your bumpers. I don't care which one it is. I know you probably use the right bumper to throw a grenade. I recommend the left bumper, but I honestly don't care. If you want your left stick click to be your jump, I don't give a damn, bro. Just make sure you are not ever taking your thumbs off to press anything. Anything ever. Maybe if you're standing still, you use the D-pad to call in an airstrike, because you're stationary anyway. You have to be jumping and sliding with your thumbs on your thumbsticks. And this is how you do it. So slide with that right stick, or whatever keeps your thumb on that right stick. But I recommend slide right stick, click, and jump left bumper, okay? Please do that, okay? Please do that. This is on all crouch slide. Choose which crouch buttons can be used to slide. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn that off actually. So off. And then yeah, so this is what feels good to me. Trust me, I have tried everything, which is why things are weird here. Why is this on 79? 77 feels like the perfect sweet spot. Now, things are going to get a little crazy when we get to the bottom. I like my sensitivity to be faster when I'm in scope on a sniper. Sounds weird, but being flicky in scope, I mean, it's a one-shot weapon. You get used to the bullet velocity, it works. 77 all the way down the board feels perfect. 4.55, I have 97, and then I've got these cranked to frickin' Kingdom Come 200. This, personal preference. Keep these at 97 if you're like a normal person, but I'm telling you, in sniper scope, 200 feels good for me. If you want to do it like me, I mean, I play recon, I snipe into the BR all the time in some of my highest kill games. I honestly, I'm gonna recommend it. A lot of this is personal preference, but I definitely recommend giving it a try. I also have that foamer on my thumbstick. It makes it much easier to control, but up to you. And I'm gonna go through the rest of these. Prioritize it. Interact is really big. If you want to be plating up and opening boxes and equipping weapons while you're doing other stuff, while you're reloading and plating up, make this prioritize interact. Just make sure you're not looking at stuff that you can pick up when you're trying to reload. And this is everything else. If you have questions, let me know. I don't use flick look, but I think I'm going to, because the dynamic is so bad in this game. This could be the cure to the dynamic curve not working. So what this is you press one button on your controller and it automatically either flicks you to a certain degree anywhere. So if I have it on, say, like my extra bumper button here, I get shot in the back. I could jump, press slide, press this button, and I'm just gonna, in one frame, instantly be looking immediately behind me, completely flick. Technically, I'm going to play around with this, but I'm going to give you my thinking in case you're better than me and you can do this on your own. You could keep a slower sense than I have, and then instead of relying on that fast outside sense on the edge of your controller, you could use flick look, press it, and keep slow sense, and then flick look right behind you if you're in that situation, and then keep your slow sense the whole time. Theoretical, I played with it in the beta, haven't used it since. I'm gonna dive into it again if they don't fix that dynamic curve. But I would recommend not writing this off. It's in the binds. If you go in here, this is how you set your flick look. I think it's at the bottom over here. Where do they put it? Where do they put the flick look? There's a dedicated flick look bind right here. So you can do 4 binds, which you don't have it. I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't have enough buttons on your controller to do that. So you would probably just bind flick look backward, which is what this is. Again, I'm gonna get rid of my stupid face cam. It doesn't matter. And to some other button that's really beneficial. Maybe your left stick click, since you don't need that if you have the forward to sprint on. I would recommend playing with that if that's interesting to you. That could let you lower your sensitivity, but this will instantly make you look backward when you press this, and just some food for thought. But those are my settings. We just went through all of my bindings. As you're looking at these bindings, keep in mind, I'm going to go over how my controller's bound. So, these bumper buttons, this is my right on the D-pad is this extra bumper button. This is obviously my right bumper, my right trigger. This is B. So this is how I quit my melee midair. I get this little extra bumper button. This is jump, so left bumper, and then whatever. And then my back paddles are X and Y. So reload, swap weapons, equip weapon. So as you're going through those, you'll know what my bindings do as you're looking at them. So you're just not just looking at my bindings without any explanation. But that is the reason behind everything. The bindings here, they don't stop you. If you have two things bound to something, it'll just do both. So I spent a lot of time making these all friendly here. And this kind of works. I have some issues breaking off from my squad if I'm not the squad leader landing in. But it's good to land with your team anyway. But here we go. I'm going to go through this way slower now because I sped through. But these are my bindings that I'm using. Keep in mind my explanation of what my buttons do. But here is everything. And I think that is everything I have to explain how to move around and maximize the potential for controller. Also, before I'm out of here, you got to go down, go to controller tuning here. Make sure your dead zones are not high. So I have TMR sticks. What that means is that they're resistant to stick drift more than your normal controller. So if you're on console, you're probably going to have some stick drift. Do not, left stick I'd recommend on 0 no matter what, because I do have stick drift on here and it doesn't hurt anything. But on here, do not go above 4 right here. I'd keep the 2 and the 100, but do not go above 4. Between 0 and 4. If you are on... What this does is this compensates for stick drift. So if you're not touching your controller and you're still looking around, you want to up this. If you go to 4 and you're still looking around without touching your right stick, listen, man, it's time for a new controller. That's what that means. Because you're just not gonna win gunfights with a dead zone higher than 4. You're not gonna win gunfights with a dead zone that is at 4. But you could make it work if you sweat hard enough. But having a low dead zone between 1 to 3, you could win gunfights without sweating because your controller's just going to do what you want it to do. So save yourself the effort. Controls are expensive and gaming is a hobby. So if you don't want to, I just want to explain what that setting does, but that's a little bit of the check engine light on your controller if it needs to go above 4. But here, these are really, really, really important. Also these. I have digital click triggers, which means my triggers click like a button. But if you don't, I still have this set as if I don't. So if you have a normal controller, use these right here. That means that you're instantly shooting. You don't have to pull your trigger all the way down. That'll give you an advantage too. I know, by principle, yeah, that's a little bit sweaty. But all it really does is you're not sweating here. You're making the game feel comfortable. Your play style is if you're sweaty or not. I know this game is so perfect because it's not COD. And dude, I just play to relax. I do hit clips and I do enjoy being good at the game, but I love that I am not sweating jumping off walls while I'm shooting someone. I'm only using sweaty movement to get from this building to this building and trying not to get shot. That's it. But when I'm shooting at someone, I'm standing still just trying to hit my shots. So don't think about this as trying to be sweaty, getting the best settings. It's just making sure the way too complicated settings page is fixed so that you can play the way you want. That's all you're doing right now. You're not min-maxing to be the best player in the world. Obviously, it's a video game, and that's cheesy. But you're literally just making the game feel right so that you can enjoy the game with your friends. That's all this is here. Some of you will use these to be super, super good. And hopefully I can, please tag your channel down below because I want to watch you when I'm eating lunch and dinner. Because I don't see anyone moving the way I am, and I don't play this for my main channel, so I want someone else to do it because I'm not gonna watch myself. So all right, hopefully this was helpful. If you still have a question, let me know in the comments, and I'm gonna start uploading my gameplay for RedSec on this channel because I'm playing it too much not to be playing it for nothing. So I'm gonna let me know if you want to see more of that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.